All right, everybody, welcome to a new episode of Metahumans Mondays. We have a very special guest today, Agent DLR. Introduce yourself. We're stoked to have you here today.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, man, it's not coming up on my stuff, so I guess I'll just go off of Zoom.
Hey, all good, dude. All good. We got you here live. So we're live on the YouTubes, and we also got Francisco. How you doing, Francisco?
What's up? I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome, brother. So today we're gonna today's episode won't be as long as other episodes usually, but we're gonna deep dive into something that we kind of spun off of from last week, where we talked about our favorite comic books and the comic books that got us into collecting in general. And today I thought it'd be cool if we dove deep into our favorite action figures and collectibles that got us into the action figure collecting. And it's super cool because we all have different paths and different things that we got into, you know. But it all falls under the pop culture, and I think we all can all agree that we have things in common, and we all have like for instance, you know, both of your guys' picks. I actually also had some of those growing up. You know what I mean? So I'm just as much as fan as well. So without further ado, let's go right into the first one here. So Agent DLR, you wanna give us your pick here? I got this really cool image here. I remember you were telling me that you grew up and you had a Hulk Hogan, right, Jorge? For sure, that's what you
Yes,
had.
sir. Yeah, I was here. If you're from that era, it's the LJN, like the big Hulk Hogan. You should probably pulling up a pic of it now. It's this
Yeah,
big Hulk figure, could take a beating. You could really just get into it, and I mean, it survived a lot of wars and a lot of battles and a lot of matches, and yeah, it's my go-to, man. It was the first thing I ever remember, and yeah, dude, it's one of my fondest memories, you know.
yeah. You know what's funny about? Do you remember? I can still remember vividly how, like, dude, you can like knock someone out with one of those too. Remember that? Like the
Oh
weight.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I grew up with two brothers, and I mean, none of us wanted to have the bad guy, so there was two Hulk Hogan's and a Macho Man.
Yeah.
But how many times did you get in a like you would fight each other and then you would chuck it, you know, and you would toss it
Yeah.
at each other, and sometimes you would hit a person, and sometimes you would get in trouble for it. But that thing hurt when it hit you, and yeah, man, those things, like I said, you could knock them against the wall. I mean, in retrospect, I wish I would have taken better care of it, so it would have kept the paint on it. But yeah, man,
Oh yeah. The
those
paint
things
would
were
chip,
awesome.
huh? The paint would
Oh
chip.
yeah, like yeah, a couple years later, the things looked like they were butt naked, you know, but what it was, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at a photo with a photo that we have pulled up. It's got Hogan on it. Hogan with the belt, actually.
Yeah, he came with the belt, yeah, because he
Yeah.
was a champion. When
I
he
see
came out.
an Iron Sheik on here. Roddy Piper. Um, yeah, there's some names on here. I think that's I don't know if that's. See, some of them are funny because I don't remember who. I remember seeing them, but they did some random like CD list wrestlers. You remember that? Like they would do some just
Oh
random
yeah.
ones sometimes, and that was pretty
Well, the
cool.
thing was too is like if you look at him, like Mr. Wonderful, well, didn't look like Mr. Wonderful.
Uh-huh.
And then they just repainted him when they reissued Ultimate Warrior. It was just Mr. Wonderful with face paint on. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, they just kind of slapped them together just to get more out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them you didn't recognize them, and they just had the name. So you're like, all right, I guess you're the British Bulldogs, even though you don't look anything like Davy Boy Smith.
Yeah.
I'm buying it, you know, because it says you're the British Bulldogs, and you got to defend your tag team championships, you
Yeah.
know, and that's just the way it was.
So I'm pulling up an image here. There's two Hogans on here. One of them's got a yellow shirt that says Hulkamania on it, which I barely realize right now.
Oh,
And then there's a carded version of him that also has like a red tank top, and yeah, so many variants of Hogan. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Hogan got the most variants just because Hogan. I mean, literally, Hulkamania was like a real thing. Like Hogan was the shit at that time. You know what I mean? So he
oh
was
yeah.
he was everywhere. But um, you know what? I'm actually curious. So this was the figure you had. You had a Hulk Hogan, but who was your favorite wrestler? Like, just
My favorite wrestler, and like, I mean, I wish I would have gone to my game room there. Is the Ultimate Warrior, man. Like the Ultimate Warrior was like the Mr. 90s high energy. Go in, he would run in, kick ass, steal your attention for a minute and a half, but he would kill somebody in a minute.
yeah.
And then he would run out. You know, and it was like the greatest thing ever. He had that heavy metal, theme music, no words.
Yeah.
Just go out there, shake the ropes, kill somebody, and then leave with a belt.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing is the LJN figure of his for a chewed up one on eBay. You're looking at like $600.
Yeah, they're up there. Yeah.
Or anything that even looks remotely in condition, it's a couple grand. But I could, even when it came out, like I could never even think of getting that one. It was so hard to find. It was so hard to buy. But yeah, that was my ultimate. Yeah, pun intended. Favorite wrestler was the Ultimate Warrior.
Your ultimate was the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, literally, man,
yeah. Doing a quick eBay search here. I'm gonna try to see LJN, WWF. See, I forget that too. They were saying WWE, right? But it was WWF.
That's before the Get the F Out campaign, because World Wildlife Foundation was suing them for the WWF.
Yeah.
And they finally stopped paying a royalty, and they got rid of the F. They said, you know what, we're done paying you. And that was an interesting era, like for them during the.
Yeah, well now we got a new one, right? What's the new league, the new federation that's out?
Yeah, AEW.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Yeah.
Indian billionaire, and it's yeah, they're getting anybody that leaves WWE is going to AEW, and they're giving them a storyline, and it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's a little more fast paced, a little more raunchy, a little more extreme.
Yeah.
I'm looking on here on the eBay search. I see a Big Boss Man with the cop suit sold for over $5,000 in June.
Yeah, if it's in good condition, you're okay.
Yeah, there's some crazy ones. The Andre the Giant seems to be the most common high selling one. You know, it's funny. The Andre the Giant one. So I had a King Kong Bundy, and I swear I didn't know who King Kong Bundy was at that time when I had the King Kong Bundy, and like I thought that was Andre the Giant with like a shaved head for a quick sec,
I mean, Andre the Giant didn't look like Andre the Giant, you know?
Yeah.
So he just had a big old mop on him, and he was a little bit bigger than everybody else, and that said Andre the Giant.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you come across it, but on Netflix they have the Toys That Made Us.
Oh yeah, that show's so freaking good, dude.
Great one on the LJN WWE.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's interesting, like how they came to be that size. It was an error. Like they weren't supposed to be that big. They were supposed to be a prototype, and they made them that big, and they sold because they were that big.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff, man. It's a good watch. They have one on the Turtles too, which is really good.
That one was pretty heartwarming, actually. Yeah. Did you have any wrestling figures growing up, Francisco?
Oh, I had a bunch, but I think I would get them from the Sobre Ruedas and all that.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So I know I had Hulk Hogan for sure.
Nice.
But there was also like some that I wasn't sure who they were.
Uh-huh.
But I still just play with them anyways.
Yeah. All right, so actually,
being a kid, man, is they become who you say they are.
Yeah.
It's imagination. That's the beauty of it.
yeah.
You don't look like the Ultimate Warrior, but during this fight, you are.
Yeah.
Clothesline, and it's all good, because.
No, one of my fond memories that I do remember with them was I always wanted to get a little ring for them, but they never. I guess at the time they didn't make them yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I would get like sticks and put them in the dirt, and I'd get like some string, and I'd make my own ring with it, and I just destroy that.
Dude, just the creating and imaginating,
Oh yeah.
So let's dive into yours, Francisco. What's your pick, man? What got you into collectibles here?
Definitely the Flippy Heads Power Rangers.
Yeah, there we go. Power Ranger flip heads, which it's funny because you think they have like some more sophisticated term, but they don't.
No. I remember it blew my mind. It just like I think you squeezed their leg or something like that, and it just like, and you're like, whoa! He took off his helmet like magic.
Yeah. So The funniest part about these is, and you know what? I had one of these too. So but I had Tommy, the Green Ranger,
Yeah.
and I remember he came with a actually like a removable golden chest shield too. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I always tripped out on these was that like Kimberly and Trini um were the same molds as the guys. So you'd have these giant women like with like the guys like because
Yeah.
it's literally the same figure, but they just changed the color of the Power Ranger suit. And then like you just got like, you know, it's so funny, dude. It was just to cut costs, you know, and all they did was remold the head, you know.
Yeah. No, I love that. I had the White Ranger. That one came with the chest plate too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it's so cool. But then like you just play with them so much, and then I just ended up breaking that plastic because it was pretty flimsy plastic,
Yeah.
and you just launch them and everything. And then for me, because I had a Jason, Billy, and Tommy, the White Ranger,
Yeah.
and since I don't remember there being any bad guys at the time for these toys, so. I just remember I just took it out on Billy and I was like, he's the bad guy.
Yeah,
Screw him.
they would eventually put out some bad guys. They would do like Pudgy Pig and I think they did like a Lord Zed eventually and all that. You know what I mean? They did a couple of
Yeah.
them. One of the funny things is they used to come with these little. See, I pulled up an image of of a carded Red Ranger with that little is it like oh, tattoo? It's a tattoo. Do you remember that? It came with a
Oh
little
man.
tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, these little um shoot, how did you used to apply the tat? Just add water? I don't even remember. How would you
Yeah.
do
I
this?
think I think
Yeah.
you just put like the tattoo over, apply like a little towel of water over it, hold it for like a minute, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you take the little seal off of it, stick it on, wet it, and then the other half comes off, and then you just hang it out.
Yeah.
And then you try not to shower for a week.
Show it off. Hey, look at my
Yeah.
new tat.
Oh, dude, looking at the carded figure just reminds me of like, you know, it's crazy. You know, you we little, and I would get this. I ripped that card apart, just bam, just
Yeah.
opened it up, and just took the toy out, started playing the hell out of it. Now today, it's like just got to make sure it's in the box, dude.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
Or I mean, if you really like it that much, then you'll just take them out.
What was that one that you just held up right now? The one
Oh,
that
this is the Target exclusive red version of the White Knight Batman.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one you're talking the Sean Murphy design concept, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I want to get the regular version to open that one because I'm planning on keeping that one sealed.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the Bat Cycle coming in, heck yeah, I need to like pose them.
Awesome, dude.
Man, we just never grow up, dude. That's it. We're just stuck in.
Hey, but I mean, you know, life's
the
about
part.
yeah, life's about having fun, enjoying yourself, man. I mean, what's the point if you
Definitely.
can't like smile, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Definitely.
Especially like when we're I mean, I didn't even get into all the collecting till like I grew up when I actually was able to like purchase these things because when I was younger I couldn't get them because I couldn't afford them and my parents would like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they just
we were
couldn't
like,
afford it either, you know? So
you can only get one, mijo.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I yeah.
Man.
That's what I said last week. Remember, I got into comics because my mom would be like, only one thing, you know, and it's like you're gonna get a candy bar or a comic book. My brother would always get the candy, and I would get the comic book because the comic book would just last me. I would have it this week. I would have it next week. I would have it the next week after that. I would have it the next week after that. So I would just accumulate comics like that. That's how I would build my starting collection. But I mean, I read the hell out of them. I didn't take care of them. You know what I mean? Just like our figures, you know, just like the LJN wrestler you had, you know what I mean? And like the
Oh,
Power Ranger
enjoy them.
Fliphead, you know, we just played with the heck of them, you know. Which kind of jumps right into to my pick here. For me, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that was my everything. And I say that it was then, it still is my everything, you know. Nothing's changed. So I had a Raphael. That was my first turtle. And I you know, be honest and admit that I got Raphael because my name's Ruben and he has an R on his belt. So I was like, So I was like, all right, so I'm just gonna get that one, no brainer, you know. And so that was my decision. Needless to say, my Raphael, after maybe only a few years, was missing an arm, and the little bandana on the back was snapped, and I think he only had one sai for like the rest of his life. And the little belts where you would snap the closure, I remember that when you would slap and take the closure off too many times, eventually the little closure would break, and so the belts of the turtles, you just wouldn't be able to put them back on anymore because the little closure would break, you know. So, um, but yeah, actually, one of these days I want to hunt down, um, some original sealed, like they call them soft head turtles, because the original 4 Ninja Turtles had soft heads, like squishy heads, and then they ended up, that was a small print run, and then they would mass produce them the same year later, with the hard heads, you know. So if you find like a squishy head turtle from back in the day, those are like the really valuable ones. But they're really hard to find though. But yeah, Raphael, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, put out by Playmates. I always loved the cards on these because they had really kick-ass art on them. And I just loved the little sayings like, heroes in a half shell. They always had cool little sayings on them. I remember Dave Garcia Pandacon, on his packaging, it said, "I am no one's pet," or something like that, and it's like a Pandacon panda on it. So that was really cool. So I'm cutting to an image here. We've got the 4 turtles. I think these are the squishy heads. And so the thing about the squishy heads is, upon like closer inspection, sometimes the heads would discolor because since they were squishy and a different kind of plastic and the bodies were a hard plastic, they never really matched up, you know? So they'd be off sometimes. But I always loved the palette of weapons that they give you, because they always give you those little weapons racks that you had to untwist. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And I always thought that was cool because it made it seem like you were getting such value. Like, ooh, I get swords and I get ninja stars and I get this weird hook thing that I don't know what it does, and I get, you know what I mean?
The hook, yeah. That rapier thing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, dude. There was some random things that they gave you. Um I'm surprised back then we didn't already start getting a little slice of pizza or something, even if it wasn't colored in, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, pizza box or something along the lines.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I remember one time my dad was he had like these interchangeable levels, like they measure the balance and all that.
Uh-huh.
And he could take off like the little green level thing.
Uh-huh.
And he took one off one day and he was changing it because he was fixing it. And I looked at it and it looked like the exact the capsule from the movie. I forgot what it was called.
The canister, the ooze canister.
Yeah, it looked exact same shape and everything. And I was like, oh my goodness, I have the canister.
Yeah.
And then I just played with it and I lost it. And then my dad got mad at me, but I was like, I had fun.
Yeah, the TCRI canister. That's funny, man. That's funny. All right. So, I mean, dude, Ninja Turtles, LJN Wrestling figures, Power Rangers, lots of nostalgia right there. Absolutely love it. Before I jump into the final little section of the show here, we're going to get into the comic book pick of the week. I have one more room here for a little slide here. I want to say, shout out to Jedi Dad in the chat, TGRI. There you go, TGRI canister. Actually, Jedi Dad in the chat, if you can, before we move on to the comic book pick of the week here. What is your first action figure? And if he gives us an answer here, I'll actually try to pull up.
Watch out, man. It could be a brony, you know? Never know, man.
Well, we'll get into the brony talk then.
I'll be like, I don't remember none of that, bro. Sorry, man.
What is your
There's
first?
nothing wrong with that, man. I guess I don't want to discourage him.
Now I feel like you go probably like, I'm assuming Star Wars, but the name like Jedi Dad.
Oh yeah. Man, I had my fair share of Star Wars figures too, man. Yeah, I had a lot of Star Wars figures. Star Wars had so many renditions of in and itself, from like those Power of the Force figures to like 3 3/4 inch, and it was just all over the place, dude. But yeah, see if Jedi Dan give us a quick answer here. I'll load up an image on that before we bounce out here. Thanks for joining us in the chat, by the way. And for anyone that sees us after live post, we appreciate you. So Jedi Dad says his first figure was a Green Goblin from the first Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire. Oh, sweet, dude. Sweet.
Man.
I think I still have my battle scar Spider-Man from that movie. Somewhere in the attic.
Green Goblin figure. Was that a Marvel Legend? First Spider-Man movie. That Toy Biz was the company at the time that took over, right?
I don't remember.
Huh.
No idea.
Superposable. I think so. Superposable Green Goblin. That's what's popping up here. Interesting.
Yeah.
That
Toy Biz.
Yeah, interesting. Huh. So Toy Biz, let's see if can get it on here. If I load an image here so you guys could check it out. Or snap, maybe it's not gonna pop up here. I was trying to see if I can get it to pop up right here. Okay, so I think I just did it. Hey man, the way I pulled this up right now, Francisco, this is gonna make the live shows a heck of a lot cooler, man. I'll be able to snap up these images right here. I probably could have pulled up all the Hulks that Jorge was talking about a little while ago. You know what I mean?
Oh, and it came with a helmet.
Yeah. So, Jedi Dad, here's a Green Goblin. Can you see it on your end, Francisco?
Yeah.
Is this the Green Goblin you're talking about, Jedi Dad? Let me know, dude. This is from the Spider-Man movie to Tobey Maguire. So that means this is William Dafoe then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little baby William Dafoe right here. Man, William Dafoe has that look, huh?
Oh yeah. Dude, I remember like any toy that came with a helmet or something that you could put on the head, that was just like the shit, man. That was like the craziest thing ever.
Oh, sweet, on point. Jedi Dad says that's the one. Came with the gliders. Sweet, man. Hell yeah, dude. Badass. Yeah, so this is Toy Biz, dude. This is I think this is Toy Biz. So man, you know, I forget how there was a Marvel Legends line before the Marvel Legends line. Remember that with those giant plastic clamshells too? And they had like some of them had like horrible face horrible like face sculpts though, man. Oh my gosh, dude. There's some scary looking ones on those toys. They got great like photo capture shit now, but man, back then, whew, some of those things were scary, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I think at that time it's like just get a product out, you know, like
yeah,
we got like just get something out there and close enough. If it looks like them, put it, you know, and
yeah,
bought it. You know, that's the thing.
Sculpt William Dafoe's face. Who's that? I don't know. Just do it. Oh, okay.
Actually, before we get out of this segment, before I go to the last part, we might as well do this. What is the worst figure you've ever had? Both of you guys. I'm actually curious about that before we go into the final part of the show here. What is the worst figure you had? You had it and you're like, oh man, this thing just sucks. You know?
I gotta go with like the thrift store G.I. Joe.
Oh, okay.
It was less than $1.
Yeah.
Literally, I used to get like $1 every 2 weeks as allowance. So I bought it, I dropped it, and it just like all that legs and arms fell off, and I go, that was a waste of $1.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, it literally lasted like a minute.
Yeah.
I dropped it and it just came apart. Like,
yeah.
It was like a crash dummy. It just, there goes $1. You know, there was no returning things back in the day.
Yeah, there wasn't. No. Were those called Leonard? Was it the brand Leonard? It was like a rip-off G.I. Joe, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was just like it wasn't even G.I. Joe. It was like some ghetto rendition of it.
You know where I remember finding those that you're talking about, dude, is at do you remember Woolworths?
Yeah.
Woolworths, dude. I remember finding those at Woolworths, dude. Yeah, that's where I bought my Barnyard Commandos. If you guys know what Barnyard Commandos is, like I bought those there. They sold like the randomest stuff. I love those Barnyard Commandos though. Those were cool. But yeah, I remember seeing those GI Joes you're talking about, dude. Yeah, but you know, in all, dude, seriously though, you know what's crazy is even the regular GI Joes, which were the more high end ones, like, man, I had a good number of those, but a lot of them like always like didn't have legs because that little rubber band thing that holds
Yeah,
their.
exactly. That held everything together with
Yeah,
a
dude.
snap, and then
Yeah.
they became like real soldiers. I'm sorry, like
Yeah.
they lose the legs, and
Yeah.
they're just like, well, now you're from Vietnam,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
Yeah, now he's a
sucks,
true vet coming back, man. Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan. Like,
Yeah.
sucks.
Even as a kid, I remember thinking that and understanding like I didn't even know what quality control meant, and I knew I wanted to like say the word quality control. You know what I mean? I was like, what the hell? Like, what? You know what I mean? Well, why do they keep putting this rubber band in here? You know what I mean? Like, what's up? Everyone else doing a socket. Give me a socket. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Well, the thing is too is we put them through wars too. I remember they
Yeah,
were in quicksand in my backyard. They were like
yeah.
in all kinds of harsh conditions. So that little rubber band would die.
Yeah. Yeah. I would just get bummed out because like it happened to my Snake Eyes and like Snake Eyes. I love this. You know which figure? Dude, do you remember BAT, the Bat? The he's like a kind of like he's just like a Cobra Trooper, but he's just BAT, Bat. I forget what that stands for, but in GI Joe it's like a villain robot, and he had this hologram on his chest.
Oh yeah, the hologram.
Oh yeah.
That figure was sick, dude. That figure was hella sick.
That's one of those you should have taken care of, though, man.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I played the hell with that figure, man.
Oh yeah.
That
But
thing
the
was
greatest
cool.
and worst name one was what? Was Snow Job?
Snow Job. Yeah,
Oh
dude.
man.
There were some funny ass names, dude. There
Like,
was.
that had to have been a prank by people developing these characters. Like, let's name him Snow Job.
Yeah.
They accepted it. I can't believe they're gonna print that out.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Francisco? Worst figure you ever had, dude?
I really don't think I ever had the worst figure or a worst figure. Like I would always find just creative uses for them, even if they were just terrible or just broken.
Yeah.
I would just somehow find a way to just make it fun.
Yeah. Shoot, mine was there was a Terminator figure. I'm trying to find the exact one here, but there was a Terminator figure, but the whole thing about the Terminator figure was he would explode like into pieces. And
And you'd lose them.
Was it
What?
like
No.
2000 or
I exploded him the first time so that one I think was a gift to me. I thought I would like it because I had another one that I thought was like kind of cool, but this figure like exploded into pieces when you'd press a button on his back, and then you'd have to put him together again, and was really frustrating because, oh, you know what it is? It was the villain,
the 2000?
yeah.
The liquid guy?
Yeah, T1000. Yeah, and I think he would explode. I think that's the one that it was. And on day one when it exploded, I couldn't freaking put it back together. He was broken like forever. So like it's kind of
Oh,
like
no.
like you with the GI Joe, like the bootleg GI Joe. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you press the feature, boom, oh cool, put it back together. The little snapper things wouldn't snap anymore. You know what I mean? And he just wouldn't stay because the spring. And it's just like I just had this figure with two legs. And like it reminds me a lot of like remember the movie Toy Story when Sid has his toys and he's got all these discombobulated figures and a doll head on this Connects Erect set, and like the guy who's like Roller Bob like on the skateboard with his arms, and like it just reminded me of like loose pieces and figures like that, dude. That was probably the worst one I ever had. Yeah. But yeah. Crazy, man. But yeah, man, I love collectibles, man. I love toys, action figures, always will.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's just something so cool about it, and like I love seeing just new versions of things that come out too, you know what I mean? I like retro and I like new, and it's cool. It's just a cool hybrid of everything, you know. So comic book pick of the week, which we're going to end the show on right here. We were going to narrow it down to a couple things. We had some ideas, Francisco and I, but you know what, for the most part, screw picking one book, because this Saturday is free comic book day, and all of them free comic book day. That's the comic book pick of the week. It's freaking free comic book day, you know what I mean? So instead of picking one, get as many as you can. Although, you know what? Oh, that one's funny. Investigators
Ants in the pants.
Yeah, got the pun right there. So yeah, investigators, and then what we got? What's the other title right there? What's that one called again?
This
Who?
is who sparked the Montgomery bus boycott.
Okay, that's gonna be hard to remember if you try to explain it. Yeah. So that's another free comic book day book. What else do we have, Francisco? I like that.
We got a Lady Mechanica
Oh
number
yes,
1.
Lady Mechanica. Yes.
I really love this one. This one's a really good one. Then we can't say no to the Zom 100 with the. Oh, the wrong way. Okay, there you go. There you go.
Ah, the
Demon
Slayer. Yeah. Yeah, that one's gonna be hot. That one's got the Demon Slayer in the preview in the back.
The Assassin's Creed.
So that one, can you open that one up? I actually really
Sure.
liked how they did that one. This is like a manga style, but not backwards.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's got this really nice paper stock in it. It feels like a manga.
Oh yeah.
So it's like Assassin's Creed manga, which is that's badass, dude. That's cool, man. Digging that. And then we've got you've got the Star Wars and the Marvel one there.
Not the Star Wars one, but I got the Marvel one. Right
Yeah.
here.
So that one's gonna be cool. Yeah.
The
Look at
Atlantean
that Hulk
Avengers.
right there. We got one of the greatest Hulk collectors here too with us too. So he's, if anyone's gonna.
I just shipped to CGC a Hulk 181, so
Ooh.
Oh, I saw that.
I'm
Nice.
hoping it lives up and it gets a decent grade. So
Yeah.
I'm never gonna leave my collection, to be honest.
Dude, that is badass,
Like
dude.
The Wolverine little label. I paid up for all that, and
Yeah.
the pre-press. Like, let me know if it's good to press, and
Nice.
yeah, let's see what happens on it, man. Like,
Yeah.
they just today.
Let us know what you get, dude. I'd love to see what grade you get, man. That'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah, hopefully it's not bad news. It's like, yeah, it's a fraud. But,
Yeah, well, you said it has the stamp in it, right? The Marvel Value stamp.
yeah, it's got the MVS. It didn't have any writing on it. It just had a little tear on the cover, some spine, but every page was there. It looked era correct. It looked like the yellowing was good on the pages. It looked its age.
Nice.
So that was one of the things. Is like I expressed it to CGC. So worst case scenario, if they say it's been touched up or it's been, because it looked in really good condition aside from a tear on it.
Yeah. Well, you know
I
that.
can and be like, hey man, that wasn't listed that he touched it up, or it's a whatever, and I can get some sort of insurance from it. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. It's literally like the best comic, the greatest comic I've ever gotten chance to own. So yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That book is valuable no matter what, though, dude. Even if you you got like I'm not kidding. Even if you got like a 0.5, which you're not gonna get, but like let's say you got a 0.5 and it was missing like pages in the inside and it had like a piss stain on it or something, like you'd still get money for it. You know what I mean? Like it's valuable no matter what. But the way you're describing it, it's sounding like you're gonna have no less than like a 5060. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
if I get that, I get more than my money back.
Yeah.
Like I just sniped it on an eBay auction, and it stuck, and I go, holy shit, I won.
Beautiful.
You know? And then it was like, all right, let's pay for it. And then I got it, and I go, looks great.
Awesome.
I looked at it for a minute, and I shipped it to CGC that day. I go, let's go.
That's exciting, man. That's fun.
Yeah, so
the
crown jewel in my collection. So yeah.
Yeah. The only downside, I guess, is the CGC just takes so freaking long to get it back to you. You know, but when it finally comes in, it's like, woohoo! You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's one of those, like, you're gonna look at it, appreciate it, maybe put it in the safe.
Yeah. When it finally comes in, you gotta you gotta do a Ric Flair. Woo!
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be one of those. Like, can't believe I even own it. You know, if it's. And so it's one of the things I'm most proud of as far as like collection goes.
Yeah. Awesome, dude. That is cool, man. That's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes back, man. That's gonna be awesome. That's an exciting book to have. That book, for some reason, and I've gotten a lot of collections. I've never ever had one.
loose. Yeah.
Not even like in bad shape. And like I've had come across big collections where like no joke, it'll stop at actually I've had a 180 before. So I've had a collection one time that got and it stopped at 180 and that was it. It didn't go to 181. It was like, what are the odds of that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then other times I found other books around it. Never actually had that book. But it's so weird because I've never come across that book, but I've come across a lot of other like really crazy stuff like Giant Size X-Men and Fantastic Four 48, you know what I mean? First appearance of Galactus, first appearance of Silver Surfer, like I've first appearance of Black Panther. Like I've come across like some crazy stuff and for some reason I just haven't come across the Hulk 181. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, it's Wolverine 1, you know. So and it Wolverine has it's pop culture,
Yeah.
you know, and I could see that getting cherry picked at any yard sale, any estate sale.
Yeah.
People gravitate towards Wolverine. They associate it with Hugh Jackman. They associate it with X-Men, and it's Wolverine 1, but it's Hulk 181.
Yeah. Also that cover is very
That's
recognizable. You know. Yeah.
First cover and first appearance, so it's a big one.
And then the cover says, "And now the Wolverine." So you're like,
although there's that crazy debate though, right? Hulk 180 is the first appearance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a big debate with that. So, but I mean, he clearly is on 181.
You know, that's a cameo. His first appearance is 181, and I think everybody else sees it that way.
Yeah.
180 whets your appetite, but 181 brings it to the table. You know?
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's cool, man. Stoked for you, man. That is fantastic. So, build that Hulk collection, dude. You're gonna have a beautiful Hulk collection. And then especially when that mantelpiece comes in, you'll be able to have it all together like that. That's gonna be sweet, you know? Yeah. Heck yeah, man.
See what happens, man. CGC is gonna decide, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, as long as it's real, that's all I care about, you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's real, man. I'm pretty sure you made good on it. Yeah, I mean, thank you everyone for joining on in. Let me see here in the thank you to everyone that joined us in the chat actually. So Jedi Dad, thanks for joining us. Jedi Dad says worst figure for him that he's ever owned is a Dragon Ball Z Trunks figure that he picked up at Price Center. Holy shit, I remember those. Those bootleg Dragon Ball figures.
I had those.
Oh man, I actually remember that. See, I've had a little of everything that everyone's had, man. Like I dabbled with all the figures. Yeah, dude. I think I actually know exactly what Trunks figure you're talking about. Yeah.
I feel like Price Center was its own branding.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing about those things. Like I literally, I stole a pack of those Dragon Ball Zs, and I felt ripped off when I opened it. Like I stole it, and I want a refund.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you stole it. And you're like, hey, you know what? Hey, I need a refund. Like.
It wasn't even worth the stress of walking out of that store with it. It wasn't even worth it. Like I felt so ripped off.
Yeah, I remember those figures that I think the torso would like spin and the legs wouldn't do shit.
Yeah.
And they were literally just two halves of plastic just glued together on the leg.
And then they just spun. Like he was like me.
Yeah, so that was it, man.
Yeah, so, that's funny. I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah.
Solid pick.
Oh man, yeah, that's hilarious. All right, everyone. So thank you for joining us, Jedi Dad in the chat, and Francisco. Thanks for joining us again, brother. And Jorge Agent DLR, thank you for joining us, brother. It's great to have you on here finally. You wanna plug yourself on Instagram if anyone wants to follow you and check you out there?
I mean, go ahead. I mean, I really don't post often, so I mean, cool. If you, I'd rather like, hey, you know what I look like? If you see me at a bar, let's have a beer.
Hey, there you go. Awesome, brother.
I don't put a lot of content out in the world, man. Like I don't do a lot of fun stuff. I go to a bar and have a beer with a buddy.
Hey, man. Hey, and you come and you hang with us here, and we talk about badass, cool stuff, man. Pop culture, you know.
Man, that's a taste of who I am. So if you see me having a beer somewhere and you want to talk comics, action figures, totally down, man.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. And we got to have you back on the show someday too as well. As long as you're
Yeah,
down to
man.
come back on, man. Do this again. Yeah, man. Fun times. So thank you everyone for joining in. Appreciate you all. And yeah, stay tuned in for next week, next Monday's show. But most importantly, for those of you tuning in not local to Imperial Valley, Free Comic Book Day, August 14th, 2021. Go and support your local LCS, your local comic book shop, wherever that may be. And if you're local to Imperial Valley, come join us on Saturday from 4 to 8. And you'll be able to see the new comics, the exclusive Free Comic Book Day books that came in. To all of our regulars, you know who you are. Well, first off, ages 12 and under get a free comic, and anyone that comes in will get a free comic that we have set aside for everyone, general public. No purchase necessary on those, but for the Free Comic Book Day, like the gold books they call them, the ones with the logo on it, it's buy one thing in the store and you get the one you want for free. But if you're a regular and you support the store, you know who you are. Agent DLR, you're one of those. Thank you for all the support, brother. You actually get to take one of every single freaking title. Yeah, you can just come in and just you're gonna leave with a stack of goodies. So lots of free comic book day books, and that is while supplies last, right, Francisco?
Yes,
So
while supplies last.
yeah, because there's obviously yeah, some people are gonna have their favorites, you know what I mean, and some things will go faster than others. So heads up. So if you want to be there, get there right in the opening so you can really have your pick. But we promise you that for all of you that have supported us, you're gonna leave with a stack full of comics. And this is the first time we've ever done this, where we're letting people get just one of each like that. And it's really a thank you from us to you, and we appreciate you. And then we have some nonstop Spider-Man ones that even if you don't make a purchase, Francisco will have one to give you for free. You don't have to buy anything for one of those. We'll hook you up just for in honor of Free Comic Book Day. And some other ones too, right? We got like Berserker and Red Sonja. We have some other bonus ones that we can give away like that. So
Yeah.
and then of course we have a lot of cool new other products like action figures and comics that came in. And yeah, come by and pick up some new books too. You're gonna want to scoop some of those new ones up. And we just have a lot of stuff coming in right now in the store that's been trickling in little by little. So thank you everyone. Appreciate you all. Have a great night. Stay safe and read some comics, my friends. All right? Take care.